Okay, in this video, I am going to show you how to set up your website for the first time. Okay, so today we're just going to get the pages set up. We're not going to add any content. It's just basically setting up the structure of your website. So it says for this assignment, you're going to be setting up your personal student portfolio website to be used to show artifacts and unit reflection throughout this course. Below is a guide to starting your portfolio. So you're going to go to Google Sites. So you can either click the waffle and find sites, or you can click on this link, go to sites.google.com. So if you click on the link, it should open a new tab for you, or you can open a new tab yourself. The waffle is the 9 little dots in the upper right-hand corner, and you can find sites and go ahead and click on that and open it up. And since this is the first time you are starting your website, you're going to go ahead and click blank in the top left here to open a new site. Okay. So when it opens, the first page you're going to see is your home page, and you want to start out by giving it a name. And I'm going to show you how to do that as soon as it opens. It'll be in the top left corner. And you can go back to the instructions as well and see this, okay? Where it says untitled site, you're going to click, and I would just put your last name dash whatever period you happen to be in, okay? So I'm just going to, I'll just put shoe 1, and it should have come up here as well, but I'm just going to add that there as well. Okay, so now it's named, and if you go back to the instructions, it says we're going to delete the page title book right here where it says your page title. We're going to delete that because we're going to upload our summative that we created from our graphic design unit when you designed your own website banner. Okay, so if you just click on this, you should get a pop-up toolbar that comes up, and you're going to go ahead and click on the garbage can here, and that's going to get rid of that. Okay, bottom left corner of this banner section where it says change image, this is where you're going to go to upload your summative. Okay, so you can go to upload, and then you probably, I would guess, have your summative saved to either your downloads folder or possibly your ID number. If you don't see it in either one of those places, you may have to go back into Photoshop, find it, export it as a PNG, and save it again so that it's there, okay? So I already have mine just sitting here, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on it and click open. And 2 things you're going to notice when you upload it. Number 1 is it might appear darker than you want it to appear. The reason is Google Sites will automatically try to edit the color of your banner to make it the easiest to read or the most readable. If you don't like that, it darkened, which I really don't like it, if you float your mouse over your banner in the bottom right corner, you're going to see these little stars. And if you float your mouse over it, you can actually see the pop-up says remove readability adjustment. You can click on those stars, and it'll go back to the brightness. So you can kind of click or toggle back and forth between that and see which one you like better. As far as the size, it looks like some of your images are getting cut off. Like in my case, I have a logo or a Avengers logo over here on the side, and it's getting cut off. But if I go to my preview button, which is up here on this little toolbar on the top right, there's a preview button, and you click on it, you're going to see it's going to show you different previews depending on what type of device the person is viewing your website from. So notice that on a large screen, like a computer, my entire banner shows. So it actually will show up. If you float over the second, if somebody is looking at your website on a tablet, they're going to see a little bit less. If somebody's looking at your website on their phone, they're going to see even less. Okay, so you'll have to decide if you want to go back and remake a banner so that it fits well on an iPhone or a tablet. I usually just leave it on large screen, and then if I'm looking at it on a device, then just part of my banner gets cut off. To get back to your website and close out of the preview section, you just click on this little blue X, and that'll exit your preview section and take you back to your page. Okay. Another thing that I want to point out, and let me go to the instructions to show you. So I showed you how to do that. We did that. Okay, so adding pages, customizing navigation, and adding a footer. So on the sidebar on the right, we're going to click pages. Okay, so we're going to start adding pages, and we want to add a page for each individual unit that we're going to be doing in this class. So notice on this bar going down the right side, there are 3 tabs at the top. We have insert, we have pages, and we have themes. Okay. I'm not going to talk about insert and themes in this video. We're going to concentrate on just adding our pages. So go ahead and click on pages. And right now, the only page we have is our home page. Okay, so we want to add sub pages to our home page, pages that will indent on our home page. Okay, So I'm going to click on the three little dots here, and we're going to add a subpage, and we're going to add a subpage for each unit that we have in this class. So our first unit was graphic design. So go ahead and click on graphic design, and then you can click done. And it should be indented under your home page. Don't worry about the banner right now because the banners are going to be customized later when we actually create content for our pages. Okay, here's the important part. So please make sure you're paying close attention to this part, okay? We want to add our photo editing page. However, if you float your mouse over graphic design and click the three dots and do add subpage, you are basically saying that photo editing is a subcategory of graphic design. It is not. It should be a subpage of our home page. So every single time we're going to add a page right now, make sure you go back to home, click the three dots, and add a subpage from home. So I'm going to add subpage, and I'm going to type photo editing, and I'm going to click done. Okay, I'm going to go back to home. I'm going to click the three dots. I'm going to add a subpage, and what would be next? Our 3D modeling will be after photo editing. So then you can click done. Okay, then we're going to go into coding. So again, go back to home, go to the three dots next to home, add a subpage, and we're going to say coding, and then click done. After coding is programming. So go back to home, click the three little dots, add a subpage. Let's go with programming, and then click done. Go back to home, click on the three little dots over here, add a subpage, and we're going to have animation. And some of these units might change or go in different order as we move along. We'll just make adjustments at that time, but at least this point we have them named. And then we have our passion project. So let's go back to home, click on the three little dots, add a subpage, and we have our passion project, which will be done at the end. And then click done. And then our final page that we want to add is our reflection blogs. So go back to home, click on the three little dots, add your subpage, and we're going to call that reflection blogs. Okay, so you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 subpages altogether: graphic design, photo editing, 3D modeling, coding, programming, animation, passion project, and reflection blogs. Okay, let's go back to the instructions. And it says to customize your navigation bar, click the settings cogwheel either near the top right or screen or on the top left. Okay, so basically right now, if you notice, here's my, like you can kind of hardly see it because it's in white, but here's my home link. And if I click this down pointing arrow, I can have links to all of my pages from my home page. You can customize where this little link shows up. It can either be in the top left or it can go down along the left side. You can get to settings by clicking on this cogwheel up here in the top right, or the cogwheel shows up on the left-hand side. Either one of those buttons brings up the same submenu. And you're going to notice right now our navigation is set to be showing at the top, which is right up where we just showed it. I can switch that to the side. And then if I click close, you're going to notice now my navigation is here on the side. Okay, so those are our two choices, top or side. Okay, and you can decide which one you like better. Going back to the cogwheel, I'm going to just change it to top right now because I think you'll be able to see it better. Right now, my background of my navigation is transparent, which is why I can see my summative background behind it. I can go back to my cogwheel here, and instead of transparent, I can say make my background of my navigation bar white. And now you can see my navigation bar is white, so I can see the word home a little bit better. Or you can actually change it to black as well. If you would rather have that, you can change it to black. Okay, so you can do any of those settings. I'm going to change mine. I like mine on the side. And I'm going to keep it as transparent. And then you can go through this. Let me just move my picture out of the way. Brand images. You can have a logo where it has the word shoe one. I can upload a picture and have that as a logo instead of an image, or instead of words. Like let's say I wanted my robot there for some reason. I can hit open, and then you're going to see it's thinking. But notice now my robot's here. Okay, so if you wanted to put a logo there, you can. I'm just going to hit the trash for that. And then favicons, you may notice sometimes when you go to a website, in the top left corner next to the URL, there's a little picture or image. That's what a favicon is. So if you want to do something like that. Viewer tools, Do you want viewers when they go to your site do you want information on your site to show when the last time was that the page was updated, or contact form? You can turn those on or off. Um, Anchor links, if you want to keep those on. They appear when site viewers hover over headings on the page and can link to specific sections, so you can turn that on or off. Analytics, do you want to send analytics to Google about your website, so you can turn that on or off. Announcement banner, if you were going to update your website every day, you can add announcements each day. I wouldn't put a banner on unless you really plan on updating all the time. I can say show banner. I'm going to show you what it does. I'll do a banner color. I'm just going to try to do something. I'll do blue, and then the message might be do your homework. If I was making a site for my students that they would have to look at every day, I can say do your homework. And then when I close this out, you're going to see I have a banner going across the top that says do your homework. Okay, so that's what the announcement banner is, if you want to put some type of announcement at the top. I am going to go ahead and just turn that off for right now, so that doesn't show. Okay, so that's that. And I'm on my reflection blog page, which is fine, but I can go back to my home page. All right, so let's see if there's anything else we need to go over today. Oh, footers. If you want to add a footer, yeah, we did all that. Okay, so if you want to add a footer is something that's going to show up at the bottom of every single one of your pages. So if I float my mouse over the bottom of the page, I can click on the words add footer. And sometimes people like to put their contact information or their email address. So I can say tracyshu@u-46.org. And you can always use this little box at the top, this little pop-up, to customize, your text, the size of your text. If you want to go ahead and customize this, you can customize this. Size, again, bold, italics, underline. The text color, if you want to change that. I'm going to insert a link because, and it never seems, well, I don't want to do it like that. Hold on, Control Z. I just want to link my email. It doesn't seem to work with our U46 emails. It should work with an outside email, but I'm still going to just link it anyway. I'm going to hit center, so it's centered on the page. And then notice I placed it on my home page. I'm on my home page, but because it's in the footer, no matter what page I click on, so if I can go to my coding page, for instance, and if I scroll down, there's my email. If I go to my reflection blogs and scroll down, there's my email. So every single page, if you put something in your footer, it automatically appears on every page. So that's an option for you if you would like to do that. Let's see. So that's all we're going to set up for today. Everything else we're going to do at a later time. But I do need you to do something before you exit out. And what you need to do is you need to change your share settings, and you need to do what's called publishing. Publishing is putting your website up out on the web so people can actually have access to it. Okay, sharing is going to help your teacher grade. So you want to share it first so that every time you turn in your website, your teacher has rights to see it. And then publishing it again puts it up on the web. So I'm going to go back to my Google Sites. The first thing I need you to do, and today's going to be the only day you have to do this. You just have to add your teacher's email one time, and then we're good to go. Click on the little share with others button on the top right, and you're going to type in your teacher's email. So whether your teacher is me or Mr. Gregoris or Mr. Navarro, you can ask them what their what their emails are if you don't know their first names. But for my students, you would put tracyshu@u-46.org, and then you would add your teacher as a. Oops, I own this one. So let's say I was going to add Mr. Gregoris. Of course, it closes out. So let's say you were adding your teacher. So I'm going to add Mr. Gregoris. Make sure you are adding your teacher as an editor, okay? Your teacher should be an editor on your website. So please make sure you add your teacher as an editor, and then click send. Okay, I don't think Mr. Gregoris wants my website, so I'm going to cancel that. And then here's the other thing you need to do. You see we're down here where it says links? Okay, I want you to click change. Two important things. The draft is your working copy of your website. Okay, you want to leave that to restricted, which means the only people that would have the option to edit your website are you and your teacher. That's it. You don't want to give anybody else access because you don't want people to go in and change your website and edit your website. So leave that set to restricted. It'll just be you and your teacher. That's it. Published is who out in the public do you want to be able to have access to your website. Okay. If you leave it to restricted, it's only going to be you and your teacher. That's it. If you choose School District U46, anybody who has a U46 email will be able to have access to your email. Okay. I don't know if you guys have access to public or not, but public is anybody in the world that knows about your website can get to it. Now, with that being said, you might be thinking, well, I don't want to do U46 or public because I don't want people to look at my website. It's not done. The only people who actually even know about your website at this point are us in the class. So unless somebody just accidentally stumbles upon your website, I don't think you have to worry about getting too many views at this point. Go ahead and choose either School District U46 or public for your published site. In this way, you know that it's set to that when it is ready to go live. Okay. So go ahead and do that, and then you can go ahead and click done. Okay. Publish. Okay. So right now, nothing is published. So even if someone tried to go to your website, they couldn't because it's not out on the web. The other thing that publish does is it makes sure that everything that you've updated or added to your website gets saved. So I would strongly, strongly, strongly suggest every single time you do something to your website before you exit out, publish. This way you will not lose anything. Okay. So in the top right corner, you have your publish button here. Go ahead and click on it. The first time that you publish, it's going to ask you what you want your web address to be. Now, you don't have a choice for the beginning of your website. It is absolutely set to sites.google.com/u-46.org. What you do have control over is what the end is. Okay, it automatically is going to take what you typed in the top left corner when you started your site and place it at the end. If you want your website called something else, make sure it's school appropriate. You can change that last part of your website or address. Okay, so that is the only thing that you have control over. So you can do that. Okay, once you decide what your web address is going to be and you type it in, go ahead and click publish. And your website is now active on the web. If you want to see what it would look like, you can click this little view button down here, and that's going to open a link to your published website, which means people who are actually searching the internet or going to your website from the internet, this is what they would see when they go to my website. So there's not anything here yet, right? Except for my email, my banner, and then I have all my pages listed. And if they went to my pages, even including my banners, would be a mess because we haven't done anything with those yet. But that is your actual published site on the internet. Okay. One last thing you have to do, you have to turn this in order to get a grade, right? You have to turn it into Canvas. So what you're going to do is, and I'm just going to switch over to student view really quick so that you would be able to see in student view how this works, but you need to copy and paste your web link. Okay. So let me just scroll down just a tiny bit here. It's right here to submit. So in Google Sites, which is your website, you're going to click on the copy published site link button in the top right corner. It looks like a chain link, and you're going to copy the link and you're going to paste it into Canvas. So up here again in the top right, you're going to see the little chain link here. It says copy published site link. Click on that. There's my email or my web address. I'm going to go ahead and click copy link. I'm going to go back to Canvas. I'm going to where is it? Maybe I might have to change. Oh, did it automatically? It automatically came right here. Oh, wow. Look at, I didn't have to do anything. It automatically did this. Let me just try. Oh, you know why I did it already? I did it already when I was practicing. So I had to hit submit so now I have to do a second attempt. Sorry about that, you guys. I was wondering, I thought that was very strange. Okay, so when you get here, right here where it says enter web address, that's where you're just going to go ahead and right click and paste or control V. So go ahead and paste your web address. Notice my web address shows up there, and then you hit submit assignment. That's how it works. Okay, and then you should be good to go. So just let your teacher know if you have any questions. Otherwise, that's all you have to do for today.